So a while back, Holly, I texted you saying Only Murders in the Building season 4 back on song because I have finished watching Only Murders in the Building season 4 now. And this is a show that when it first started, first season, it was Steve Martin, who we hadn't seen do anything for ages, and Martin Short coming back, being best friends on TV and bringing Selena Gomez along for the ride. And there was something really, going back to the whole sort of cozy crime thing about it. There was something cozy about it. There was something funny about it. There was something just warm about seeing Steve Martin do his Steve Martin thing again. And then the more it went on, I think by the time it got to season 3, it was kind of like, okay, this is essentially the problem was that the crime element of it was just not satisfying, as for me anyway. I'm not sure how you felt about it, Holly. The crime element was just not satisfying, and the solving the crime was really not satisfying. It was just kind of like bumbling from one place to another, and the going, oh, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, and eventually you're going to get the right person if you keep doing that. But Holly, I don't know what you were going to say.
I would say I haven't seen season 4 yet, so
Yeah, no, season 4 you haven't seen, but I thought you saw season 3.
I did see season 3. I liked season 3, but it
Okay.
was a bit all over the shop.
Yeah, it really was.
Um, Enjoyable viewing, but not as good as seasons 1 and 2, though I've heard people say to the contrary, so and that they thought it was the best of all.
What season 3 was?
Mm.
No, I think I'm in the same camp as you because after season 3, I was like I'm not coming back for season 4 because they also have this what's the word? They have this system or this thing where so every season in the final episode of every season somebody dies in okay so the basic premise of this thing is that there's these 3 people who are podcast enthusiasts. They find out they all like the same podcast, and then somebody dies in their building, which is this old art deco building in New York called the Arconia, and then they decide, oh my god, we could do a podcast about this and try to figure out this plan. And so they ended up becoming podcasters, and every season they're trying to solve a new murder that has happened in their building. So people keep dying in their building.
Oh, not a safe place to live.
No,
Would
not
not
a
want to
safe
live
place to
there.
live.
It's like Midsummer.
Exactly, like Midsummer or that place that Jessica, what's her face in Murder She Wrote.
Cabot Cove or whatever
Yeah,
it's called.
yes, it's kind of like, why is everybody living here? Like, and every season, the last thing that happens in the season is they find another dead body in the building that leads, and that's what you're going to find in the next season. And that's how they do every season. This final episode is going to end with somebody getting killed. And they have gone to the point where this show has become ridiculously starry. Because the first season, it was like you had Steve Martin, Martin Short, Selena Gomez, Sting shows up for a bit. But in this season 4, there is a scene in which you have Steve Martin, Martin Short, Selena Gomez, Eva Longoria, Eugene Levy, Zach Galifianakis, Melissa McCarthy, Meryl Streep, all in the same scene.
Crikey.
Yes, all in the same scene, and you're like, "What the heck is going on here?" Oh, Molly Shannon's in that scene as well, and there's bits where it's just kind of they do well enough to give them something to do. But for instance, there's a whole Melissa McCarthy thing that I don't understand what it's doing there. I don't understand what it's doing in the show. But the beginning of this show, I would say the linchpin for, if you pardon the pun, for this season 4 is Jane Lynch, and every time
Oh, from Glee.
Yes, and Jane Lynch. Every time Jane Lynch is on screen, this season sings. The first 3 or 4 episodes, which are dealing with, so the Steve Martin character, they're dealing about the Steve Martin character because he's an actor called Charles Hayden Savage, and Jane Lynch plays a character called Saz, who has been his longtime stunt double. And the relationship between it's quite a funny thing. It's good that the whole underlying thing is actually one of the joys of the show. It's like how his stunt doubles a woman, and what their relationship has been over the years. Like,
A woman.
yeah, because they've been working together for decades and everything like that. What the relationship, and the first 4 episodes or so really delve into that relationship between Charles and Saz, and they are so touching. They are amazing. I mean, the first 4 episodes of this are great, and I think they're brilliant. And the way they go into it, then when they come to sort of like trying to solve the crime itself, there's no real craft to it. It's just again, it's you. Oh, we kind of like stumble across the answer. And that bit, it just kind of like dampens it down for me. But essentially, anytime you have Jane Lynch on screen with Steve Martin, the show sings. And it's just so brilliant. And yeah.
I feel that I always feel slightly disappointed when I see her and she's not wearing a tracksuit.
Well, okay.
I just feel like, oh, where's your red tracksuit?
Okay, so in that case, things I'll tell you, right? Okay,
But it makes
so
me want to see it now that you tell me she's in it. It makes me want to see it.
oh no, honestly, you don't really need to have seen any of the other seasons, and I think season 4 is where she has the most to do. So Jane Lynch is on the screen the most in season 4, but also another show that she's in that I think will there's no red tracksuit, but she's brilliant. If you see The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, whenever
I've heard of it, not seen it.
oh God, whenever Jane Lynch shows up, it is hilarious. She is so funny in that show. I mean, I absolutely love her in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I mean, she's kind of like one of those guest stars. You know when you have like a guest star that shows up once a season?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like what she's like in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Shows up, but every episode that she's in is hilarious. It's just plain hilarious. You can probably just watch just the episode she's in, and they carry like they work on their own as a sort of like a through line or anything like that. But anyway, yeah. So Holly, my point was I just wanted to let you know that Only Murders in the Building season 4, it starts really strongly. Jane Lynch, Steve Martin, love that stuff. Then it goes in there, but the same weaknesses apply. Which is that the crime element of it and the mystery element of it doesn't pass muster. It's just kind of like, but the comedy element of it, great. I mean, Ron Howard shows up for a bit. The bit where they have, because there's, I know. Ron Howard shows up in this. They have, there's a bit where they have, because the whole idea is that they're making a movie of Only Murders in the Building within the TV show of Only Murders in the Building. So they have cast Eugene Levy to play Steve Martin, Eva Longoria to play Selena Gomez, and Zach Galifianakis to play Martin Short. and all that stuff is actually quite funny. You're talking about actors and their stuff. But anyway, I think all in all, I would give season 4 a 3. I liked it more than season 3, but mainly because of the first 4 episodes, and mainly because of the Steve Martin Jane Lynch connection, which I just think is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.